better. I guess apparently didn't have audio on the last one. I had no idea. And actually, I think Mike said something. I just didn't pick up on it. So we'll see if we have audio this time. And again, people let me know in the chat if the audio is there, because yeah, that sucks if there's no freaking audio, because there's a lot of information to give out. And anyway, so yeah, we'll just kind of wait here a second to see who's coming back in. This might be a lost cause, so if you jump in, hit the like button, let me know you're in, and let me know if there's audio, and I'll make sure that I kind of start over and get this thing going on. Sounds good. Okay. Thanks, IPF. Now the other question is, was there no audio the entire stream, or did the audio just kick out at some point? And I think there was probably no audio in the entire stream. So truth is that I have these Rhodes mics, and these Rode mics, it's always like one of them's charged up and then the other one's not charged up. So like the microphone works, but the receiver doesn't work, or vice versa. And so anyway, it's just when you unplug it and you want to go to using the audio that's on your phone, it just kicks out all the audio, which is kind of goofy. So okay, well, I'm gonna start over here. So we'll come back in. So what I got here is I start off my last stream talking about this chair. And the thing is that the situation with this chair is, this is a client that buys all kinds of stuff from us, and they sometimes have these oddball requests. And one of these oddball requests was to raise this Frenchy chair up like 3 inches. You know, the truth is that they'll pay for it. It's not like they want some kind of a deal. They understand what it takes to do this stuff. So there's no real good way to do this particular job. So what we had to do is I ran basically like some 6-inch bolts from about here up to about here. These are I want to say they're 1/4-inch bolts all the way through here. And then we had to create some kind of just kind of a leggy detail, you know. So I just took some lines and created some shapes, a little bit of carving on the thing to give it a little bit of character. And now we're going to go through and we're going to do all the painting. We'll paint this thing and make it kind of match what we have going on here. And that's what they wanted. So anyway, that's what you got to do sometimes. Sometimes you get these, like I said, these clients that have been with you for a while, and every now and again they just have these weird requests. And while you want to say no, it's very difficult to. So you just got to suck it up, get it done, and it'll lead to more sales, which is kind of the important thing, right? It leads to more customers, and that's the important thing there. So, all right, so more audio this time, thank God. So I was talking about drawer boxes. So drawer boxes, I do all my cherry drawer boxes. I always make them all 3/8. They're all 3-inch thick, which everyone, you know, always has a comment about. But truth is that the way that I make all these things is I cut them on a miter saw, then I always go over to my edge sander and I make sure that everything's nice and clean. I have a nice joint, because truth is most miter saws really aren't that accurate, and it just makes your drawer boxes go together better if they're perfectly square. And then we run over on our miter lock bit, and everything is round on this miter lock bit. I don't use this thing for anything else. I just made this old router table, you know, years ago. Anyway, that's all I do is run miter locks on here. That's kind of how that works. So we got, who's this Tropical Gamer in here? Hello, Gamer. Good to see you, man. Again, guys, hit the like button and add to the discussion. So we're talking woodworking. We're talking what we got going on in the shop, what we're making, what we're delivering. And I went through a bunch of stuff. And this is the second stream. Apparently, my audio wasn't working on, so I'm going to go through things real quick and try and get caught up. So I appreciate everyone being here. We'll go into the back. I'm going to show you guys what we got packaged up real quick. We'll go over the things that are shipping. I'll show you guys that real quick. Then we'll get back into the shop and we'll talk about dressers and credenzas and all that good stuff. Okay. Who's this? We got Keenan Redmond. My dad just died. Well, sorry to hear that, man. That's really scary. You know, my parents are getting older, and I tend to think about that kind of stuff. And yeah, that's no good, man. I'm sorry to hear that. Hopefully your day will be okay. So come back in here. This is like I said, what I was showing you guys before. This is how we wrap all of our furniture. So what we have going on here is you've got a thick furniture blanket, right? So you're gonna have 1 or 2 blankets along here, and then it's gonna be wrapped in shrink wrap. We have lots of this. We buy this shrink wrap in bulk, these big rolls of it, and you wrap that shit all the way around. You wanna make sure everything's fairly tight, right? You don't want things rattling around because that could damage paint. So then here, you notice this top, right? Top looks really nice. It's jet black, it's beautiful, but it's not 100% dry. So we wanna make sure that we don't wrap the top of this, because if there's any off-gassing of the paint, when you have this plastic on top of that, you're going to end up with issues on your top. And I'll show you guys what that looks like later on. In the wood shop, I have an example of it. Anyway, so we don't wrap the top. So you won't be able to put anything on top of there. Here we got another credenza, same deal. It's all wrapped up and ready to go. And every piece is like this. We hand wrap everything. and we deliver it by hand. Because the truth is that our paint is super temperamental. All of the quarters, you know, if this thing gets damaged, you're basically hosed. There's not a lot of fixing stuff. Because most people, believe it or not, they don't have the technical know-how to fix these things. It's not the easiest thing in the world to fix lacquered paint. It's not like fixing, you know, latex paint or water-based paint. It's a very specific look, and it can only be sprayed. It's very hard to do what we call a drop or any kind of an edge touch-up. It's just very difficult, you know. So, all right, so in here they're getting ready to wrap this vanity. This vanity is heading to, this was going to Virginia as well. But nice looking piece. This is Pinata. This is our X Vanity. It's the #1 selling product that I have probably. And yeah, we sell, I don't know, 50 to 75 of these a year. They're real popular. We sell them in all kinds of sizes, and you know, people just love that stuff. So all right, we're back to the wood shop real quick. Come back. This is I'll show you guys, this is the old building. Right, look, the ceiling was torn out. They put all new rafters in, and it's just a big ass room. So all right, walk back to the shop real quick. We'll go over, I'll show you guys what happens to trying to ship furniture when it's not dry. Okay, see some comments here as we're walking back to the shop. See, I liked and subscribe. Thank you, Tropical Game. I appreciate it. We do this every Friday. We go through the shop. We got to see what's come in, what we're working on, what's worked, what didn't work, what failed. You know, we look at the furniture we're building, stuff we're painting, all that kind of stuff. So another thing coming in here. Yeah, hit the like button, guys. I appreciate it. Add to subscribe. It's super helpful and going to grow this thing. We're going to get all our watch hours in. So this piece just came in. It's a pretty piece. So this is something that we just bought. You know, so we sell a lot of furniture. I've got 200 pieces upstairs, and it's a cool looking piece. I'm going to run back in here to we just had this piece show up yesterday. We just had a meeting with this woman, and this is kind of a cool piece. So this is a really old freaking piece of furniture, and we know that it's super old. If we look at the back, you can see the entire thing's been old school dovetail jointed together. You know, the back, they didn't have all the plywoods that we have now, so you'd basically take tons of boards and you'd glue them all together. And one of the things you could do is you could put one of these spreader boards in there to have to, you know, keep from one solid piece, make less breaks in the back over the years. That's one of the things we do. So we'll end up tearing this whole thing out. We'll throw it away, believe it or not. We'll put a solid piece. We'll actually use an MDF back in this thing because MDF paints really well. This kind of stuff doesn't paint for shit. So that's what we'll do to this nice old piece of furniture. But it'll look pretty sharp when it's done. You know, we're going to take out, you got these nice sawtooth shelves there. I always really like these things. I did an entire kitchen with these things one time on Tybee Island in Savannah, Georgia. But anyway, we'll take all these out. We're gonna put glass in here, and we'll keep the sawtooth things in here. We'll put LED lights up in here, and it should be a cool piece when it's all said and done. Client should really like it. And of course, in here we're gonna take. Sorry guys, my thing's moving all over the place. You got these old carved handles. We'll get rid of all that stuff. We'll put nice brass hardware on here, and we'll fill in this old crotchwood it's crotchwood. It gets all crinkly, you know, so we'll have to sand all this down, and we'll probably end up putting some kind of an epoxy over the top of this thing and flat sanding that epoxy so that grain never pops back through, because these things have a tendency to move a lot. So that's one thing we'll end up doing with this piece to get it where we want it to be. So another thing in the sanding room, I was showing you guys earlier, but I had no audio. This is actually beautiful. It's a beautiful looking dresser, but you guys will notice the top cracked, right? So we got a little bit of cracking. So we're gonna have to end up sanding the top down. We'll respray it. We'll mask off the entire outside of this piece of furniture because the rest of it is in fantastic shape. And we'll just take care of the top, let that thing dry, and then we'll be able to ship it out. But you know, that's just something that kind of happens. Just not much you can do about it. So anyway, so we got going on there. So I'll move back to the wood shop. Wood shop. Okay, I told you guys I'd show you what a credenza looks like when it's shipped too early. Okay, so what you have going on here, wipe this dust off of here. So we'll look at this top, and we have to kind of use the light. Okay, see this? I don't know exactly how to describe it. It's kind of just looks like the thing's been a little bit burnt, but all that stuff is from off-gassing, right? So when this thing has plastic over the top of it, those solvents are coming up, the solvent gases are coming up, and it interacts with the paint and causes the finish to be all jacked up, right? And there you go. There's actually a much better way to see it, right? See all that along there? So all that stuff has to be buffed out, and buffing will take it all out. You just hit it with a buffing wheel, polish it, and then wax it, and it'll gleam like a mirror. You know, clients love that stuff. It looks really nice. So anyway, that's what's going on there. But that's all that has to be done. So the sides don't off-gas the way the tops do. And that's because those solvents are coming up, right? They're rising. So the solvents can actually escape. It's not a problem. It's just the tops, you know, so you got to be kind of careful of that stuff. It's very difficult to ship furniture when it hasn't cured adequately. So when you spray high gloss lacquer, and I would imagine with any lacquer, to be honest with you, it takes days for that stuff to really dry to the touch. But then it takes a good week for it to be able to be wrapped or to really be able to be worked on. You got to be kind of careful with it. You can touch it after about a day, but again, you'll get those little marks in it. You don't want that. You put your finger into it. You don't want to be able to do that. So you got to give plenty of time to dry. So that's just one of the things you have to understand about spraying high gloss lacquer. What's up, Al?
So when you have chance,
yep.
Can you move your car away?
Yeah, well, here. You want my key?
Not right now. You know,
oh.
I'm going to see some shit. You know, and buy some pink king connectors here on UCC from some guy.
Oh.
You know, it's for electric stuff.
Yeah.
I have an inspector coming tomorrow to my house in the morning.
Oh, sorry, I forgot you're dealing with that, with the wiring bullshit.
I'm going to buy some stuff, you know.
That's funny. Yeah, you don't want to have aluminum wire in your house. It's expensive to fix. Okay, so we'll talk about more stuff we have going on here. Okay, comments. Look at comments real quick. Okay, we said, yeah, my dad just died. Yeah, sorry to hear that, Caden. Yeah, that's, man, dads are special. Okay, we got chicken jock. Yeah, I don't know what the hell that means. Brantley, but hey, man, hit the like button. I appreciate you being here, and we'll keep talking about it. Okay, so on to dressers. So we have a pair of these 65-inch Emily dressers. This is part of our Emily line of furniture, and you'll notice that we use undermount slides for everything. Undermount slides are heavy as shit. Every single one of these weighs about 2 pounds, and there's, what are there, 18 of them on here, right? So do the math. That's heavy drawer box, or heavy drawer slides. So anyway, the way that I do all my drawer boxes is I literally measure out each one. Like every single one of these, I'll measure them all out. I never kind of take it for granted that they're all the same, because when you hand make furniture, you'll get variations in all your drawer boxes, right? And you make your drawer box a little bit bigger, but I'll show you guys kind of how I do this stuff. It makes your I always build my drawer boxes basically 1/8 of an inch oversized, right? So the distance between my slides is 15 inches. I always make them 15 1/8, and that allows them to close better. Because the truth is that everyone, you know, of course, everyone builds a square drawer box and they build square cabinets. And the truth is it doesn't end up working out like that. You know, something's always a little bit out of square. So if you make that drawer box just a skosh bigger, when the drawer box closes all the way, the drawer box will actually close to the cabinet, which is what you want. Okay, so flip back around here. Okay, so this is literally what I write down. So I mark every drawer box, and you see I've written it down, 1455, 1455. These are 2287. One of our drawer boxes was 14, whoops. Oh, crumb. Sorry, guys. Hold on. Coming back around here. There we go. I think I lost my my Steadicam. Anyway, so point is that one of our drawer boxes ended up being 1/8 of an inch larger than the rest of them, right? So had we just cut them all at 14 1/2, that one drawer box wouldn't work out. So, guys, I'm going to lose my Steadicam. Hold on. Too many technical complications. So this is literally how I do it. So then I go in and I'll mark every single one of my drawer box parts. And I say that. Here we go. So A is going to be 1455, right? And that's literally how I do it. That way I know exactly where all my drawer boxes, and when you have to build 18 drawer boxes at one time, it's nice to have everything labeled. And again, most people don't make their own drawer boxes, at least that are kind of in the higher production. They tend to have companies do it for you. And I showed you guys in my last stream what that looks like. I'll show you one more time. But basically, you just order a bunch of drawer boxes in when the order for the cabinet comes in. So somebody else is making all the drawer boxes, you're making the cabinet, then when all that shit comes in, you put it all together. And that's kind of how your higher production people do it. You know, I don't do it that way. It's never worked out for me. I've never been happy with other people's drawer boxes. So, all right, so showing my drawer boxes. Again, I showed you guys earlier. This is how I make them all. Just 3/8. Furniture is 3/8, and I argue with people about this all the time. Don't make your drawer boxes 3/4 or 5/8. That's not for fine furniture. That's for vanities. That's going to be for kitchen cabinets. That's going to be for utility cabinets. Fine furniture always has a 3/8 drawer box. I've even seen 1/4-inch drawer boxes in some of the newer like boutiques that are selling furniture. So it's just something to think about. All right, so what most people normally do is they're going to have some kind of they just order it all. Right, and this is what high production cabinet shops do. And these, of course, are Baltic birch with dovetails. Everybody does dovetails, right? I don't do that because dovetails are just played out. They're not exciting anymore. It used to be back in the day, that was your only option, right? And it was sold as it's the best quality, and it is fantastic quality, but a miter lock works just as good, and it looks nicer. It's much cleaner looking. And if this is hardwood, you know, guys like to see this, women don't, right? So truth is that when I sell beautiful glossy furniture, I'm selling to chicks, and they don't necessarily want to see a dovetail joint the way a man would want to see that. It's a different customer, different expectation, and that's what I've just learned over the years. So that's what I do. Okay, we're over here to the paint department real quick. And again, I'm sorry I didn't have audio on the last stream. Okay, walking in here. Let's go into the paint room real quick. I don't have a ton going on in here. So we've got, these are actually kind of dull colors. Holy hell. So these are not indicative of the Resplendent Crow's usually super pretty finishes. Okay, so these are authentic Dorothy Draper cabinets. I have a video on my YouTube page of exactly how to make these. So I hand make these for people regularly. I actually got sued by the company that owns the patent on these and had to stop advertising it, which kind of sucked. But that just means that's when you know you're doing something really well. When a company sues you or gives you a cease and desist letter, that means you're moving in the right direction. So these are original, and we got tape covering up here. One of the things I say we got tape, maybe we don't have the tape. These are all numbered. So the way that Henradon, who's the company that originally makes these, they would number every single one of their drawer boxes, just like I was showing you guys just a second ago. We number all of our drawer boxes because we know that every drawer has to go in a specific opening. Because truth is, when you make furniture, no two drawer boxes are alike, right? The drawer box that goes in the lower left part of a cabinet will not fit in the upper right-hand side of the cabinet. And people will say, oh, my drawer boxes will fit. And I make the squarest cabinets and the squarest drawer boxes. And the truth is, no, you don't. Nobody does. This is why drawer boxes are done this way. So, little tip. Okay. Let's see here. Maybe we could pull this thing out real quick here. Let's do the pull-out method here. All right, coming in. Okay, pull this out. This actually looks better. So apparently it's just really dark in there. It didn't look very nice, but here it looks much better, right? It's got a nice shine to it. And yeah, that's actually much better. So this looks like it might be coat number 1, maybe coat number 2, but it's good looking, right? It's, again, not like a very vibrant color necessarily, but the finish is good. You can see, let's use the light here. I'll show you guys the imperfections. So let's see here. Hold on, I'm looking, bear with me, trying to get it in the light here. It's kind of, man, that's a tough one to see. There are imperfections, and here we go. Let's try and use the light right here. Shoot, I don't think it's going to show up very well. I can see it. There you go. See that right there? It says move it across the light there. That's an imperfection there, and it runs, so you can see it down here. So it's basically running this way, and that's the veneer that was on the top of this thing. So as this thing dries, we'll sand it, and we'll put another coat over the top of it. That's kind of what you have going on there. But that's just something you get with high gloss lacquer. High gloss lacquer shows everything. This is one of the reasons that most people don't do high gloss lacquer paint, is because they just can't handle the imperfections showing up every time. And then sanding, respray, sanding, respray, sanding, respray. And it just drives people crazy, because just when you think you got it figured out, more imperfections show up. So let's pull this. So this is a respray. The Sherwin-Williams could not match the color. This color is called Rumors, and this is not a great looking color either, in my estimation. But we'll see how it looks out here. Move this cabinet over and pull this thing out. We'll see what she looks like. Okay, yeah. So this is okay. It's not too bad. It's kind of a little bit on the duller side. It's not super shiny. And this is actually coat number 2. I know that because the first coat was the wrong color. It just didn't show up right. So, it's not bad looking, but it's not great. But sometimes that's just kind of how it goes. People like different kinds of colors. Some colors, truth is, some colors, I'll see if I can find the swatch for this color real quick. Truth is that some colors just don't translate very well into lacquer. Certain reds will look amazing, and then other reds will look like shit, and I don't know exactly why that is, but it just happens. So let's see here. Here we go. Okay, let's see. I'm going to show you guys. Okay, this is, see what Mike has to say. Help people understand that Dry to touch does not mean cured. Yeah, I know. It's very different. Yeah, and Mike's a painter, right? Mike Boyle here, he's a painter here in St. Louis. And, you know, hit him up if you need, you know, any help with your kitchen cabinets or you need furniture restoration stuff done. Like, he's done all that stuff, and he's a good dude. So, okay, so here's what the swatch looks like. Let's come over here. And you can see that, okay, yeah, this is good. This is a good lesson for everyone, okay? So, the color, you can kind of see all the different variations of color we had to go through to get this damn thing to work. And this is actually acceptable, what you have going on between here and here. It might not look perfect, but the truth is that lacquer tends to dry a little bit lighter than your swatch, right? So if you want, you know, this particular color, you really should pick a color that's 2 shades brighter, and then, or excuse me, 2 shades darker, and then the lacquer will give you the color that you're actually going for. So that's something you have to do. But again, the camera picks it up really well. Just, it's very hard to mix up some of these colors. I mean, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe 6 different attempts to get this thing correct. And it's about as close as it's going to get in this case. That was a tough one. So I don't know if people have ran into this before, but mixing colors and matching colors is kind of an art. So if you find somebody that's really good at matching colors, like don't ever leave them, because it's not every company is really good at it. So that's that one was a struggle. I'm glad that it's done, because Jesus, that was a China cabinet. The truth is that, I mean, if you look here, going here, China cabinets are no joke. Okay, so let's start here. This is why they're, you know, like $8 grand. This is the base, right? This is the bottom, right? You come in here, and you've got, that is the top. Or is this the, yeah, this is the top, right? So you got all this real estate. Door, glass, back, shelves. I mean, just so much stuff. There's actually fretwork that goes in this thing, right? And then you've got, you know, here's the big, massive back. You got the detailed doors. You got, I mean, there's so many things that go into this cabinet. You got drawers that are also going into this cabinet. And there's just so many pieces that go into these things. They require a lot of man hours. It's just what it boils down to. You know, man hours were a lot cheaper back in the day. And truth is that, you know, everything's super expensive. And when it takes 20 hours to put a china cabinet back together after it's been painted, there's just no cheap way to do it, you know, unless you're doing it overseas. So that's why we kind of have to charge what we charge when it comes to china cabinets. And there's just, like I said, there's just no cheap way to do it. I wish there was, and I'll figure it out one of these days, but I just can't bring myself to outsource all my work. I'm just not that person. So anyway, I think that's kind of what I got to show you guys today. I've got a couple more dressers over here I'll show you real quick that are in some really pretty greens. And like I said, they've loaded up a bunch of stuff. I was going to show you the inside of the truck and kind of show you how that works. But here, I'll show you these dressers real quick. So these are real pretty. These are bottle green dressers. And this is a freaking awesome color. It's so pretty. And I know probably lose a bunch of guys here, but chicks like this stuff. Trust me. You wanna make them a beautiful live edge piece of furniture. Don't do it. Learn how to spray lacquer and get your woman what she really wants, which is some nice lacquered furniture. Trust me. It's what they want. So, people might disagree with me there, but anyway, that's kind of what I got going on. I got a bunch of projects that I'm working on right now. I submitted a bid for a $36,000 crotch mahogany dining table yesterday. Biggest single bid I've ever sent out for one single piece of furniture. So who knows, you know, might get it, may not, you know. You just never know. It's just, you just throw these bids out there, people ask for them, and sometimes it's a winner, other times it's not. But you just keep slinging those bids out there, and it's just nice to have the opportunity, right? It's nice that someone has the confidence to, you know, receive a number like that and not go, fuck you, right? Or that's ridiculous or whatever. It's just like, okay, well, that's what it's going to cost, you know? So that's kind of cool. Another quick thing while I'm in here in the shop, customer is waiting almost 2 years for this drawer. Apparently we lost it or we forgot about her. So I need to box this thing up and get it sent out to Kansas, of all places. Great. I actually remember this customer, great customer. This customer, so what we have going on here, this is kind of unique, okay? This is for the people in aerospace. This is a little bit different. So hold on one second. I'm gonna flip my camera around here. Okay, I'm gonna move some things here, and I'll show you guys how this works. So when you fly on jets or boats or things like that, you can't have shit just flying all over the place. Like, everything has to be secured. This means plates, all your stemware, all your silverware, it all has to be basically locked in place as that jet's moving around. You don't want that stuff to kick around. So one of the things we would do to keep stemware and stuff like that from moving is that, everyone kind of recognizes what this thing kind of looks like, okay? So if I take this, we set it like this, right? Notice how it doesn't move, okay? None of this stuff moves. And that's really important for this particular kind of cabinet we built for this person. So the truth is that, I guess I can't really do this one-handed. These things slide out, so if I can show you guys. So these things will just come out like so, and they're in there nice and firm, but they still slide fairly easily, right? And that's kind of important. Take that thing and we could slide it back in there, and it doesn't move, right? So the reason we did it this way is the client bought a pair of custom-made faux bamboo bar cabinets from us, like little ones. They're tiny, but all the stemware was in the bottom, right? So when they would pull the mechanism that holds all the stemware, they pull that out, the stemware would knock. It would hit each other, right? You can't have that. It's noisy. It can break things. And so anyway, so that's what I came up with, is basically using neoprene. So I'm flip back around here. So what this is it's wetsuit material. And this is what they use on Gulfstream jets, right? So your $70 million plane uses the same kind of stuff, the same technology, and it's just squishy. It's about, it's probably 3/16 of an inch thick, and that's what you put on there. And so if you ever run into that kind of a situation, lock it in with neoprene, a little bit of contact adhesive, and it's nice. So a little something for you guys. You might ever run into that kind of situation, but that's what I got for you today. So stream number 2, hopefully the audio's working this time and everyone's happy. And I think I've showed everyone for the most part what we got going on. And this weekend is just build. My wife's got to work all weekend, which means I can be at the shop. I don't have anyone nagging me. Everyone's gone. As soon as the shippers get out of here, it's just me and my shop. And I'm going to build dressers. I'm going to build dressers, finish up those chairs, and I got to start building a pagoda china cabinet, which get on the resplendentcrow.com. You guys will see. Just search faux bamboo pagoda china cabinet, and I got to start building one of those. I've got some credenzas to build. I mean, it's just a lot of stuff, guys. And the truth is that I've seen a lot more on the furniture side, a lot more custom furniture. I used to sell a lot of vintage furniture, and we'd paint it. Like I said, I showed you guys all this stuff. Flip back around here. Like, this is all vintage furniture. This is either a customer piece or this is something that we have upstairs. And I guess I haven't shown you guys the upstairs. I might do that real quick since I have the time. But like, this is all vintage. A lot of this stuff is stuff that I have upstairs that I'm selling people. But now I'm just I just am making so much stuff. Like, I almost can't keep up. I need to hire more people to make furniture, to be quite honest with you. So here, I'm gonna run you guys upstairs real quick, and then we'll end this stream. So we have an entire second floor to our facility, which is, I don't know, it's probably 4,000 square feet, but it's just full of vintage furniture. I'll turn some lights on here. So if you come this way, along here, this is all china cabinets in here, guys. So this is my retirement. This is where all my money goes. Look at all these freaking china cabinets, tons of them. And all this stuff is on the resplendentcrow.com. This is how our business works. We basically buy this stuff cheap, and we wait for people to want to buy it and tell us what color they want, what kind of hardware they want. So take this piece, for instance, right? So this is the most fancy schmancy china cabinet, but most of our clients won't want this hardware, right? So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 handles, and then you've got 3 knobs here, okay? They will buy this thing for $6,000, and then they'll spend another at least $1,000 on putting new hardware on it. So very high margin when it sells. So here's bubble glass cabinets, right? So people have seen the bubble glass moves out, right? And this is broken. This happens quite a bit. So all this glass will be replaced. We'll put flat glass in there, which is kind of sad, but that's what you gotta do. So more china cabinets, but that's kind of how our business model works. We got more furniture over here, more china cabinets, beautiful century china cabinet. Those things are real popular. A lot of Asian-y stuff. And it goes all the way back here in this building. That's all furniture along every single row. And it's all specifically selected for our style. We got people, a lot of pickers across America that know what kind of furniture we want. So they will text us when they have something that they think we'd like, and we'll just send someone over there to pick it up when we're delivering furniture to somebody else. So the company was founded on faux bamboo furniture. So we've got lots of, it's all just faux bamboo furniture along here. And this is all vintage stuff. So I make more faux bamboo furniture now than I sell vintage. So at least half of every piece of faux bamboo I sell, I make, which is wild. Blows me away. So come back in here. More part of the facility. It's a big horseshoe. And all this back here, it's all furniture. I should turn the lights on back here. But we got lots of nightstands we're kind of keeping back here. This is an old cabinet from a hotel. We got, these are Stanley China cabinets. They're real popular. We sell the crap out of those. I think we've got even more of them over there, yeah. But yeah, this is what the business is, guys. You know, it's dusty, it's dirty, and that's how we make money. So middle class living, not, you know, gonna get rich by any means, but it keeps you busy, and you can't get into trouble when you got to work all the time. That much I'll tell you. So yeah, that's what we got going on. I think I'm gonna end my stream today. So I appreciate everyone showing up and saying hi and seeing what it is we do here, what we got going on. Every Friday I try and do a stream, show people what's in the shop. Most days I'll do a stream about 4 o'clock and just talk about a topic that's kind of related to the furniture business or manufacturing or maybe painting. And we'll talk about, you know, whatever. It's just a good time to help build up the hours on this YouTube platform. It helps us to grow this thing to another revenue stream so that we can monetize. We make the furniture anyway. Why not make videos about it? Why not talk about the business? The business is already here. So yeah, it's one of the things we're trying to do is build up this channel and get the 3,000 hours that we need so that we can, like I said, we can monetize it. And I've told people before, once that happens, I'll open it up for like, I'll do like 99 cents a month. And I'll go over the business side, like the numbers, the profit and loss statements, the you know, the bank statements, all the stuff, the insurance negotiations, what it's like to negotiate with employees, and just like the very, very nitty gritty numbery type stuff. Like we'll do all that stuff, and that's what I'm working on. So everyone have a fantastic weekend. I'll do a stream probably on Sunday talking about a piece of furniture like I do most Sundays. And yeah, enjoy the nice weather, guys.